All right, so we're going to start in my render. It has deployed my last commit. So we are going to page. We're going to be testing 3 of our pages today. First, we're going to do our vehicle management page. So if I pull up validate HTML, we can see that there are no warnings. If I pull up validate CSS, also no warnings. And last, for my wave evaluation tool, there are no errors there either. So both of my links work. We're going to start at add new classification. If I do it with client side, it does tell me to fill out the field. However, if I do a no validate and then do the same thing, it does come up with an invalid value. So I will have to add something. So we're just going to add van to our classifications. And it does send me a positive note there. And if I reload my classifications, you can see that van was added. And if I go back to my inf page, you can see that van was added on there as well. Really quickly, if I validate my HTML, there are no errors. My CSS, no errors. And my wave evaluation tool, also no errors. There is one more thing. If I put in sport, it will tell me that sport has already been used and the form is sticky. So it will leave sport, but it will not add it to my database because it already exists. Now we're going to go back to my inventory management page and we'll go to add new vehicle. We can start with our HTML validation. That comes out clean. Our CSS validation. And finally, our wave evaluation has no errors as well. Now, if I add a few fields and try to submit it, my client side validation works. If I hit the no validate, my server side validation works. It does come up with all the errors and it is sticky. Now we're going to test adding it into our database. So if I hit add vehicle, it does give me a success message. And we can go to our sedan here and see our Honda Civic. And we'll have a new database item in there. As for our, next we'll go to our inventory route. Here we can see that if we just go to our inv extension, then we have our management page, add classification will take us to our add classification page, and add vehicle will take us to our add vehicle view. If we go to our inventory controller, here, this is going to deliver our management view with our title, our navigation bar. It's going to have our view and then our classification select. That one's new for next module. Then here is going to build our new classification page. And that is going to render the title and the navigation bar. And then the view will hold all of the other things that we'll see there. To process our new classification, if it's successful, we'll go back to our management view and we'll see a success message. However, if it's not, it's going to keep us on our add classification page, and then all of the form will be sticky so that all of that will stay there as well. For our new vehicle view, this is going to build that original page where we have our title, our nav, and that's extra. So then here to add the new vehicle, you can see that we have all of these variables that hook to our database. And then if it's successful, we'll get a success message to be returned to our vehicle management page. If it's unsuccessful, it will leave us on our add new vehicle page and we will be able to edit that information. Finally, our models here. I'm going to right here, add new vehicle classification. This hooks to our database, so you can see that it is calling our classification name from our classification table. And the first value that we enter is going to coincide there. And then it hooks to that pool query, and we'll add that. If it's not successful, we will receive an error message. And then this is going to check for existing classifications, which is why it wouldn't add sport previously. So it's going to check my database for classifications so I don't duplicate. And then here's our add new vehicle. It's going to add these variables into our inventory here in order for these values to be inserted as well in the order that we enter them. If it's successful, again, it will return us back to that management page. If not, then we will receive an error message.